I was talking about this, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but when there's an artist who expresses interest in looking for support, they want help, maybe they want funding, because not everybody's an artist, right? If you're not an artist, you can always support an artist and help an artist. And one of the primary ways to do that is have an in-depth discussion with this artist about what they want to make, right? What is their story? What is their skill level? What experience do they have? What's the symbology behind the color red? What are they trying to say here? And if they're not willing to talk to you about that, bad sign. If this person is a true artist, they're probably going to talk about their stuff like endlessly, or at least if you're willing to listen to them, at least they will tell you like what's in their heart about it. And so if you don't think it's very good, maybe the problem is you. But if they're not willing to talk about it with any depth, now that's a more serious problem, right? Like your interpretation might be wrong about it, but if they're not even willing to talk about it and tell you more in-depth stuff about why this is what they want to do and why they want to do it, that's not a good sign. So you need to have these discussions. And you need to start learning about crowdfunding, because crowdfunding is now the way for artists to resist the gatekeepers of Hollywood. They need to fight off these gatekeepers, because these gatekeepers are the people that are destroying our culture. They're the ones that are saying, no, culture needs to be homogenous. It cannot offend me. It cannot offend many other people. It must be the same message over and over and over. And I feel safe with this message. I'm a child of 14 years old. I cannot handle my mother telling me to clean my room. I don't like it. And so these are the children you're dealing with when you're dealing with gatekeepers. If you just make them uncomfortable for 5 minutes, they'll just say bye to you. So I've been to Hollywood. I've met these people. I literally waited for a meeting at AFM for someone for half an hour. They didn't like one thing I said after literally 30 seconds of sitting down. And we all got up and walked out. I mean, that's how sensitive these people can be. Like, I can tell you what it was too. We literally sat down, and my first question, I wanted my first question to be engaging and to make progress. And so what did I say? I said, what are you looking for? That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I said. And I had been actually trained by someone who said, if you want to get to brass tacks, ask that question. That's actually what I did. And guess what? They weren't interested in telling me what they wanted in the marketplace. What they wanted me to do is wow them with a product. That's what they wanted.
Yeah.
And so they didn't have the patience. Like, they didn't want to be the ones talking, right? And so I was happy to literally get up. I literally was like, okay, we'll leave, because she like, after I said that, they were like, you don't know what we want, you don't know what our marketplace is, you didn't do research on us as a distributor. And as soon as she said that, I was like, okay, well, let's go then. And we literally got up and walked out. So that's how offended these people get, these gatekeepers. They want you to give them what they want, period, end of story. And if you can't do that, well, they don't want a relationship with you. And that's what I wanted. Like, I want a relationship with a distributor that I can talk to.
Yeah.
And I want them to tell me what they want. Every distributor wants something, right? So she's just being fake with me, right? So, I was happy to leave then. And you deal with that kind of stuff in Hollywood all the time. Just fake people. So, when I went to another distributor that same day and talked to a guy for like half an hour, and he was very nice. And I didn't have anything the guy needed, but it didn't matter because I was having a conversation with him.
Yeah.
And he's the first person I would go to next time I had that same kind of script.
Yeah.
That was I don't remember, Bridgestone, I think. They were good people, but so that's kind of my point: is you got to get past these gatekeepers because they will make your life difficult. Instead, what you want to do is focus on the art that makes you happy, right? And
Absolutely.
and means something, like it has value to it, right? And it's also, like I said before, it has to be purposefully against the Hollywood narrative. If it's not, what is the point? What are you doing? Just go to Hollywood. Do whatever they say. Lick their feet. Because you're going to tell them the stories that they want to hear. So, no. There's a reason they're telling that kind of story. Right? This kind of story is corrosive to society. They want you to tell corrosive stories that erode the fabric of society, right? They want men hating women and dogs hating cats, and that's what they want, right? Kids hating their parents, and Disney princesses that are like, I can do anything. Like, that's what they want, because that's a corrosive message that destroys society. So what you want to do is make something else. Make something that builds society. Make something where the father is actually smart. He's not a moron, right?
Yeah.
Like, purposefully find out what Hollywood says and say the opposite. And notice the hornet's nest that comes after you. Notice that they will hate you. Why do they hate that so much? Why? Because it's spiritual. It's a spiritual war, right? Hollywood is a spiritual place that I could not live in because it was corrosive. It was, dare I say, it was evil. I mean, I could feel evil there because it was very selfish, just very, I don't even want to get into it. But, it's very surface level, no authenticity, like, at all. So, a lot of people, they want people to lick your feet. That's what they want. If you're willing to do that, you'll fit right in. But what I would say is purposefully notice what they're trying to sell kids and sell families. They want you to go to work hard and then go home and Netflix and chill every day so you can be lazy and not learn anything about the real world. And they want you to listen to stories that are corrosive to society. That's what they want, right? Because this is spiritual. So we're getting into real stuff now, people. Like, we're not fooling around, okay? You got to tell stories that they do not like. That's what you got to do. I'm not saying you got to be like grotesque and unnuanced and have bad writing. Like, I'm not saying that. You need to have highly skilled stories because that's going to offend them even more. That's going to make them really sad and annoyed because they're going to realize that they don't own art. They don't own the culture. Other people might even be taken away from their art and go to your art, right? If your art can impress some people, they might watch your art instead. So this is going to really scare them. That's what you want, friends. You want to scare these people. But the only way to really do that is to tell a good story. To really scare them. is to tell a good story, to have real craftsmanship. And to say something inspiring or beautifying or unifying or just powerfully true, right? Justice comes from these things, right? There is no justice without truth. They just peas and carrots, friend. Like that, they belong together.